G'day, I'm Melissa Shannon from digitalscrapbookinghq.com, and today I'm here with a digital scrapbooking process video. This page was inspired by the Layout a Day February 2018 prompt for day 3 to scrap about the weather. This is a choose your own adventure layout a day, so you get a variety of prompts, but I decided to focus on the weather. Okay, so the quote was, "There's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing," from Sir Rannulph Fiennes. Anyway, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but so that got me thinking about how we have Christmas in summer, obviously being in the Southern Hemisphere. So you'd think that it would be warm, but for Christmas carols in the park at Heathridge each year, we have to rug up. Unless you're under lights on stage, it's pretty cold. There's usually a good sea breeze in, and it's quite cool. So this year I actually dressed up in jeans and a long sleeve shirt and a jumper, a wind cheater, and brought along a scarf and a hat. So it just makes me laugh because, you know, during the day it was lovely and warm, but when you're outside for a couple of hours sitting on the ground in a sunken park, it does get cold. So that's what this page is about. And I started off by selecting Holiday Faves templates. I just chose number 6 because I guesstimate that's where it'll go in the album. I'm not totally sure. So I'm using the Netio Designs Holiday Faves 2017 page template. That's 8x8 size. And I just type in the journaling. I've been loving the traveling typewriter font. For many years, I've always done all of my scrapbooking using my handwriting font, but I'm changing it up a little bit. So because I know the exact date for this occurrence, I searched in my camera roll for the exact date. So I had an idea of what I wanted to use. So I'm just selecting a few of those photos now, and I'm placing that cute selfie of me with my parents. You notice my dad is wearing jeans and a short sleeve shirt because his normal temperature probably doesn't need a scarf. Mum's already got her hoodie on. I've already got my scarf wrapped around my shoulders. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. So now I'm just finding some more templates to put some additional photos in there. And I'm looking for the additional photos by searching in Photoshop Elements for the capture date, which is a really quick way to find all your photos, even if they're from multiple cameras. And I took a panorama. I love using panoramas, so I had to include that. And I decided to pop the panorama on this page with the other 3 photos and just use that to provide the supporting photos. And of course I had to add a little bit of journaling as well because I can never stop myself from writing all the details. And I mean, this is the problem I've had with December Daily over the years, is I want to write on all the things. I can't help myself from just doing by just doing one story. I mean, this is literally one event, but you know, I end up with 3 pages. It's ridiculous. Or maybe that's 3 pages, yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. So here I am just searching through the photos, trying to find some good ones that I want to use. And I ended up using this photo of us Skyping. My little girl hadn't quite realised what was going on. She's 3, and so she wanted to talk to Mummy before bed. So we put that in. And here I'm just resizing this photo to fit inside. It wouldn't work with the shape of the rest of the photos on that layout, so I had to do that. And I also wanted to include a photo of the stage in daylight so you could actually see it. And then when I was looking at this page, I realized, these really don't, they're not in chronological order. So what I did here is I just held down my shift key and dragged the photo spots so they'll stay perfectly in line, because we can't have it going out of line, can we? Now I switch over in Photoshop Elements Organizer to my supplies catalogue, and I've got a album already set up called Christmas 2017, and that's where I put all of the gorgeous kits that I've purchased and haven't used yet. So here I am, just making sure that these are still lined up and they've all got their white borders around. I've really been in this whole white border thing on this white border kick for a long time. Yeah, and I love that little bird, so I just had to put him on the corner of the page, and I had no idea what I was going to do otherwise, probably build a cluster. So here I am, just choosing some things that I think would kind of stand out nicely on this dark background, and I love that joy to the world, and I felt like, oh, it kind of works with the lines of that photo, so just resizing that down to make it fit. Because it really does feel like, you know, with, you know, upwards of 10,000 people there, it just does feel like you've really got joy to the world. So now it's a matter of popping in some embellishments and some papers to actually make the layout look good. So I just found some red papers from the same kit that I used from that little tool, and then I'm looking for all of the, I was trying to find a real three-dimensional heart from Cronin-Barrow, but I didn't even end up using that. I thought it might be cute to replace that other red heart, but in the end I didn't. So mostly what I'm doing now is just trying to replace the colours in the template with actual papers so that they'll look a bit textured and realistic. Of course, it's totally optional. You could keep the flat colour. So what I do here is I just grouped all of the green parts together in this template, and then I can just clip the green paper to that entire group, and it works really well. As long as I get the correct layering, you can still see the text, which is cool. And now I'm just trying to decide if I really want it green, or if I want to make, instead of green, this be this kind of confetti star background, which I did end up doing. And then I'm just saving as I go. I'm exporting them as JPEG files, so they'll be ready for printing and for sharing, because this layout was a featured layout for Layout a Day, if that's not too many layouts in one sentence. And I loved that little banner paper, but too busy. It just, nah, you couldn't tell what it actually was or anything. It was too much. And then just going through and trying to find some more bits and pieces for that cluster. There's just so many beautiful supplies, and I'm not really that much of a clustery layered scrapper. So sometimes I feel like kind of waste all my kits when I don't use them. So I found that string, and I love that because it kind of adds a little horizontal element to that cluster. So that was the end of my epic scrapping for one page. Now usually a layout a day does not take me that long. I spent over an hour on this page between everything I was doing. It was crazy. So usually I certainly don't spend that much time, but I am really happy with how the 3 pages turned out. That's the first page, and then the journaling, and then the photo page. So when I come to actually making this album, they might turn out differently in terms of the page order, but that's how I'm kind of enjoying them right now. So I hope you found this look into my process interesting. I've got one more coming in a couple of weeks for another featured layout from the Layout a Day 218 challenge. So I hope you'll click subscribe and also turn on notifications so you can see the next time I create a process video. And I'd love to hear what you're working on in the comments. Are you scrapbooking Christmas? Are you well and truly over it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn more about digital scrapbooking or Photoshop elements, head to digitalscrapbookinghq.com.